Don't play with us, could be dangerous. So run if you hear the sound, the sound. 'Cause that's how we howl. That's how we howlin', growlin', wildin'.
Okay, folks, so the day is finally here for those of us normal folks who don't go to the pre-release tournaments or aren't YouTube people who have connections and whatnot. Today is release day of EBO 2, the 25th anniversary collection. Let's see here. So it is, again, like EBO 1, kind of a smaller set. You can see the card listings right there. Only 1 leader, 1 secret rare, 9 super rares, 21 rares, 29 commons, and 26 specials. So we'll see what that's all about. I think they're referring to the anime cards, or the drawing cards, that one of them looks exactly like this Luffy. If you've seen the channel, you know that I opened 2 boxes of Japanese EBO 2, which basically amounts to 1 box of English because there's half the cards. But let's get into it. Yeah, I just picked this up today, and little, spoiler here. I have been seeing vendors locally and online all charge more for EBO 2, and significantly more than normal MSRP on a booster box. And I don't have my normal knife here like I normally do here, but and so I kind of just figured one of 2 things: either Bandai raised the price on EBO 2 because it's a special set, or because they're just going to start raising the price on their booster boxes. And then I also thought, well, maybe it's just the first wave of the Trump tariffs going in, and since the cards obviously come from Japan, those tariffs are going to affect the import costs on anything from Japan. But turns out I don't think it's either of those things, because my little secret here is that I go and get a box from a sleepy little comic book shop, and they don't specialize in TCG. They just happen to order it because they can, and they usually only get 1 case, so it's not a make or break thing for them. So they basically stick to the MSRP, and if they had gotten charged more because of tariffs, I'm sure they would have upped the cost of the box. But lo and behold, my box here costs just normal old retail. I think it came to like $120 something after tax. So boom, like if your store is charging you $140, $150 for a box, and even one of my online vendors that I go to that usually has decent prices was charging $180 for their pre-orders on EBO 2. If you're seeing those kind of prices, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure it's just because the store feels like they can get away with it, which is sad, It's just penny pinching, to be perfectly honest, and I've already fallen for it because my pre-orders that I've gotten from another local store that wasn't this little sleepy comic shop that doesn't do much TCG, yeah, their prices were up. I can't remember what it was, but I think I paid like $145 or something per box for 2 boxes. I'd have to go and check the receipt when I go pick it up, either tonight or later today. But yeah, I hate to say it. I would, just so you know out there, if you are diligent, you might be able to get it for the normal price still. Even though some other stores are taking advantage and jacking up the prices because they can. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm expecting the same all 3 possible hits, maybe 2. We will go a little bit slower today for these, since a lot of these you haven't seen, especially in English. I did look ahead and watch some of those videos of the YouTubers that get their boxes early, so I know some of these cards. As you know, I'm not someone who plays a lot, so I'm not going to be commenting on these as far as their usefulness in the game. I just don't know. So we have our first little special art card there. Now it might be hard for you to tell, but there is a little foiling. This little border here is in foil. That little mark up there is in foil. There's a circle here that's in foil, but nothing flashy by any means. That card looks fairly basic, but they're kind of at least different. I like that Bandai still tries to change things up a bit and give us some new types of cards. Already getting some doubles, which can happen in these smaller EB sets. Alright, thought that might be a hit, but it's a cool card. That might go in my collection anyway, just because there's not a lot of stuff featuring the Going Merry. For now, I'll put that up there. Yeah, I hate to, trash talk game shops. Everyone wants to make as much money as they can, obviously. But my advice to you, if you're seeing those elevated prices, check with your local comic shops. Because sometimes comic shops they won't get as much of the product, but they'll at least get some. There's the cover art for the box. And that's a cool SR, even though that's just an SR. That'll probably go in my collection too. But yeah, comic shops, they're not trying to gouge you as much because it's not where they make their money. They're not trying to sit on 5 to 10 cases of cards and get as much out of it as they can. A lot of comic shops will only have 1 or 2 cases to sell, and so it's not gonna they're not gonna benefit as much by trying to gouge you. And plus, as most of you know, I'm sure most of you know anyway, comics, they print the price of the comic right on the comic. So comic shops in general aren't looking to try and artificially inflate prices. A couple of new cards, a nice Shanks there, nice Nico. And so yeah, if you're seeing your local TCGs raising the prices of these booster boxes by $20, $40, frankly, I would start looking at comic shops to get your product, because it's just not fair, to be honest. I know a lot of shops will say they do it because they want the product to last longer. If they sold it at normal prices, people would gobble them up and the product would all be gone, and then 2 days later no one would be able to buy any. And that's valid, but to be perfectly honest, I think if that's the case, then they should just put limits on how much you can buy. And that's what a lot of shops around here do, who try and keep the price back down to MSRP or close. They'll just say you can only buy 1 box per day. If you're really adamant about it, you got to come back the next day and get another box. And that's what the Bandai stores do too. They sell I have 2 Bandai stores kind of close to me. It's a cool SR. One of them is in San Jose, which is like 2 hours. One of them's in San Francisco, which is 90 minutes. And when they have new product, they basically just limit you to 1 or 2 boxes, sometimes depending on what it is. And that's how they stretch out their product a little bit longer. So it's really not a valid excuse to say, oh, we're charging $40 over MSRP because we want the product to last longer for you folks. It's not like they're doing you a giant favor. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I think it's a little disappointing that stores will take advantage and jack the prices up and try and make you think they're doing it for you, or because they have to, because of the tariffs. And frankly, they're just trying to squeeze as much out of you as they can. So I've got 3 cards up there on the trays, but technically I think only one of them is hit. That's kind of a cool card, the fake Straw Hat Crew. I'm sure most of you remember that. Just the other day I was literally at the dentist and I was wearing my One Piece jersey that I got from Lunchbox. It's a store out here in California that specializes in a lot of pop culture stuff, but a lot of anime for sure. And it's a cool little jersey, but I've had so many people comment on it, and so it's really letting me know firsthand how huge. Oh cool, we got an art leader. It's letting me know how huge One Piece is getting, because yeah, just yesterday my, I guess you could say, dental tech or whatever, she wasn't an actual dentist, but one of the techs was talking about how she's binge watching One Piece, and she's almost up to the end of Marineford, and she just started. She says she watches about 5 episodes a day, and she's really into it. Alright, alt art leader. And I don't, actually, I should know this because I watched a few videos, but I don't know how many different alt art leaders there are in this set. So we're not even through the right half yet, and we've gotten 2 hits. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Whoops. So yeah, we got the alt art Usopp, which, frankly, I hate to say it, but I will be selling that. Usopp is not someone I throw in my collection. The Yamato probably will go in my collection. In fact, I just watched, not too long ago, I watched the Wano arc, so that's fresh in my mind. I would, I know I don't get a lot of comments on my videos and I don't get a lot of views, but I'd love to hear anyone's opinion on whether they're getting their product boosted way over MSRP from their local stores, seeing that where you go online as well. I know market value on TCG Player for a box is high. It's well above MSRP, so maybe stores just figure, hey, that's the name of the game, you know, we kind of stick to TCG prices, that kind of thing. But frankly, yeah, I really value the places that aren't trying to gouge and are really trying to, you know, sell it what they're supposed to be sold at, frankly. And the problem is those stores that do that, they, like I said, most of them only get 1 case, maybe 2. So you're not going to get a lot of product. If you're someone that likes to open, you know, 10, 12 boxes, you know, a case worth of boxes, then you're kind of out of luck. Especially since anyone who's selling full cases is probably sticking to the inflated prices because they know they can. But yeah, like I said, even if you're one of the few people who get to see my videos or come by the channel, I'd love to hear from you and hear what you think. And now there's someone who's kind of been absent for a while, I would say. Yeah, lots more duplicates in the EB sets because they're so much smaller. I've already seen the fake Straw Hats come up like 4 times. That's a cool card. There's not many Frankies out there, actually. There's a Jinbei. Excuse me. Hopefully I remember to edit my cough out when I do the edit on this. Got lots of duplicates already. Vegapunk SR. There's a lot of cool art, I would say, even for just the SRs. That's a really nice one, obviously. That's why I put it up there. And the Bonnie SR chowing down, of course. You know, beyond the price, that's another reason why I didn't order a whole bunch of EBO2, is because it's a smaller set and I can probably fill out my collection pretty quickly. And then I'll probably, you know, if there's chase cards that I don't get, I'll just buy them as singles probably and not try and open up a whole case of this stuff, especially at these prices. And I'm already seeing the same for OP11 pre-orders. They're already like way higher than normal. I mean, if you're going on just the last two sets, EBO2 and OP11, they're really jacking up the prices. So, like I said, no way for me to know, but I'm inclined to believe that it's not anything legitimate. It's not the tariffs. It's not that Bandai have raised the MSRP yet. I think they might have for OP11, but don't quote me on that. I didn't go check the official Bandai site or anything. And all we can hope for, I guess, is if stores are going to start charging more for the booster boxes, hopefully the single cards will increase too. So if you're, you know, someone who opens and sells the ones that you don't want to keep, at least you can recoup a little bit more too. But let's say the resale value of all the cards stays the same, but the box price goes up, we're all kind of hosed. Oh, that's a cool one. I think that's one of the more sought after SRs. Of course, SRs aren't ever going to be like really valuable because they're just too common, but not as many leader packs in here. That's a good thing, because even though it's a special set, we still get no hits if it's a leader pack. It's a regular card. Oh, that's a cool one. I just saw that in one of the videos. I think Woosley Plays or something like that. One of the really good informative channels. I think he just featured that card. So not bad. Got a 3-hit box right out of the gate. Got an Alt-Art leader. Got that, what is this anyway? It's an Alt-Art rare, I think. My eyes aren't so good. And we got the Alt-Art, I guess 2 Alt-Art rares. 2 Alt-Arts and an Alt-Art leader. Not bad. And I'll open this pack just for SMGs, even though obviously there's nothing in it. So I do have some more on the way, but I have no idea how much I'm going to open, because, you know, based on what the last EBO2 did, it just skyrocketed here recently. They're going for like $250, $280 a box, I think. I might hang on to a couple. In fact, obviously that'd be smart. to hang on to a couple and try and recoup some of the money that I spent overpaying for these boxes. But here we go. Let's see. I think these are all the SRs. We got the Vivi, the Sanji and Pudding, a Trafalgar SR, cool one there. Some of these SRs might actually go in my binder, even though I don't usually put SRs in, but they're just cool looking. Jewelry Bonnie there, and Vegapunk. And then of course the 3 hits. I do have 2 more boxes on order. Like I said, I'll probably at least open one of those. I may do some more hunting around. Probably gonna stick to comic shops and try and see if I can still get those boxes at retail rather than overpaying. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one, which should be coming very shortly. And I do have a surprise for you in a video that I already filmed, but I'm going to edit and post this one first. So timeline wise, you'll be seeing that other video somewhere in the near future after this one. But it is a cool surprise, which is going to lead to a lot more content on the channel coming up. Oh, and actually my not my Boa, but my Nico figure from Babyface Studios is out for delivery. So if all goes well, that's going to be delivered to my house today, and I'll open it probably tomorrow when I do a second box of EBO2. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.